Hi, my name is Jenna Mendez, and my group and I are here to explain why social media platforms should be held legally responsible for spreading misinformation. Our specific purpose is to persuade you that the United States should pass a bill to either adjust or amend Section 230 so that platforms are legally accountable. Our thesis is simple. Social media platforms should be legally responsible for spreading misinformation. Social media platforms spread information faster than any other source today, and with that speed comes the rapid rise of misinformation. Misinformation is defined as false information that spreads regardless of intent, and platforms often fail to protect users from it. This is especially harmful for younger individuals who are more likely to encounter and believe misleading content. The problem. Social media is how people get most of their news today, but misinformation spreads fast. The Southwest Grid for Learning defines it as false information spreading regardless of intent. Platforms often fail to remove harmful content. Why our system fails us. Right now, platforms moderate themselves. Tools like fact-checking labels and AI detection exist, but they don't fully stop misinformation. Platforms rarely invest in stronger moderations unless it's required by law. Consequences. Misinformation can lower vaccination rates, cause poor health choices, and create social confusion. Events like the Ukraine war are widely misrepresented online, which affect our younger audiences the most. Because of this failure and the risk to public health and social trust, it's clear that self-regulation is not enough. Legal accountability is necessary to ensure that platforms take the spread of misinformation seriously.
Now that we have addressed the problem, let's look at two major causes behind it. So, first cause is people spreading misleading posts/videos to support their views. This can be bad for many reasons because it can make impressionable younger audiences believe misguided medical advice, global fake news, and believe in viral content just for the sake of more views. According to Southwest Grid for Learning, there's been a major increase even in the spread of misinformation about the Ukraine war, which can have lasting impacts on our youth. So the second major cause is because social media platforms like Facebook, X, and TikTok fail to address harmful content affecting our youth. This can leave the youth feeling scared and confused. Now that we know why users tend to spread this information, let's look at some alternatives to help this problem. So focusing on these alternatives can help make a safer environment for online and social media platforms. So the first alternative is to adjust Section 230. This would hold platforms like Meta, who own Facebook and Instagram, accountable, and it would also remove immunity for platforms like them, not just their users. So it would also clarify ambiguous legal boundaries. According to Claire Cho from Congress.gov, she states that Trump issued an executive order instructing federal agencies to take certain actions with respect to Section 230, such as clarifying the scope of immunity provision for online platforms. There are just too many ambiguities regarding Section 230, so I believe that adjusting it and clarifying would help fix these problems. The other alternative is to amend Section 230 entirely. This would help create a new policy with a clearer responsibility. Platforms cannot simply remain neutral. According to Corey College, they strive to be, but the problem is every system, like Facebook, like Instagram, they typically have a system that is presenting information in a specific way towards their users. So they cannot remain truly neutral. So I believe by amending Section 230, we can have a government that is neutrally involved instead of having just people do it. So these are just a few alternatives to think about to help fix this problem.
Now you know why the media should be legally held responsible for the misinformation and the harmful context that it can cause. But to understand this, you need a situation to relate on. Say you were on the media one day and you were scrolling and you wanted to try a trend you saw on the media with no reliable sources. You try that trend and you are getting severely hurt. This is why the media should be held legally responsible for the misinformation and the harmful context that it could put because you got severely hurt. If the media does not be held accountable, how many more people are going to get hurt? The media should be a fair, safe environment for everybody. So by making it fair and safe, we need to omit Section 230, which allows the media consequences of the misinformation and harmful context that we will see. How would you feel if you were a parent and your kid was on the media one day and they were trying the same trend that you saw and got hurt? You want the media to be held responsible for that. Please help us by omitting Section 230 for this reason, for the media to be held legally responsible for the misleading information and the harmful context. And here's our works cited page.